Hi everyone, welcome to Epic Explorers Virtual Holiday Bible Club 2021. I'm glad you're able to join us, and I hope wherever you are, whether you're at home or wherever you're watching, that you're ready for a fantastic week. We're going to be meeting each day. I hope you've got the email, your parents got the email, and you've got all the things that you need ready. I hope that you've got your Bibles ready, if you've got one at home, so you can follow with me later on. We've got loads of things that we're going to be doing and finding out, and the things, well, it's going to be an exciting week. We're going to start off, as we start the week, we're going to start off with a bit of a warm-up. So I'm just going to see whether that comes up. We've got our Epic Explorers warm-up. So we're going to do a few things just to get us started. So I hope at home that you've found a bit of space. Make sure that if you've got a brother or a sister or anybody else with you at home, that you've got enough room to be able to stretch your arms out and be able to see that you're not going to hurt them. So make sure that you've got that space. And we're just going to do a few things just to get started, to get a little bit warming up. So we're going to start with our arms. That's the first thing. So if you take your arms, and I want you firstly, try and see if you can mirror me. So get this arm and see if you can put it, see if you can put it across there. Because as explorers, we've got to be able to have some flexibility, haven't we? I've not got that much, but I'm hoping you're going to have a lot more flexibility than me. Let's see if you can try and do it with this arm. Can you take it across there? Oh, that's it, a bit of stretching. You've got to make sure that those muscles are okay, especially if you're going to use your binoculars. So get those up there. You've got to be able to have enough strength in your arms to be able to lift the binoculars, to be able to see for miles. Right, so get your arms up again. So can you do this one? And let's see if you take your arm back there. Oh, and with a little bit of swiveling, and your arm back that way. Oh, again with a little bit of swiveling. Can you do them both at the same time? That would be incredible, wouldn't it? Can you do that? Some of you might be able to go further than others. See what you can do. That's brilliant, fantastic. Now, this is a really hard one. Have you tried putting your arm up in the air and taking it back across the back and onto your shoulder on the opposite side? That's incredible, isn't it? Can you do that one? And what about doing it the other way? So here we go, across to the opposite shoulder. Oh, I'm very stiff this morning. I hope you're loosening now. Brilliant. Okay, so that's some of the arm movements that we've done. What about some side slides? Can you do some side slides? Can you put your hands by your sides and can you tilt that way and go all the way down? That's brilliant. And then can you slide back up? And can you slide all the way down the other side? I'm just thinking as I'm doing that, and I can just see. Can you see my two parrots over here? Yeah, they're really important when you're on an island, aren't they, to find your parrots. They keep giving me information, that's great. So you've done your side slides. Why don't we try a little bit of more energy by doing a little bit of marching? Can you march on the spot? Can you do that? And then can you just do a little bit of jogging on your toes? Not too much, I don't want you bashing anything. No lamp stand, no bars, we don't want any breaks. Do you think you could actually jog on the spot? That would be pretty good, wouldn't it? That should get you warmed up. On your toes if you can. And then back to marching. Brilliant, well done. Stop. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit out of breath. But I think we've got one more to do. Have you tried star jumps? Do you know what star jump is? What we've got to do is we've got to go out with your hands and your feet at the same time, and then in. And can you do 3 of them? Oh, okay, there, I've done 3. I think I did 3. I don't think I did 4. Shall we try doing 5? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I know there's a few of you that perhaps have seen me doing things before. Maybe during something called Kids for Jesus, and I do a little bit of dad dancing, but I'm not sure I can do any dad dancing today, but there's a few warm-ups for you to get you started. Right, okay, so get your breath back. You might want to sit down, or you might want to stand up and watch. Whatever you want to do, that's fine. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a little bit of information. It's our explorer's briefing. So, in our explorer's briefing, let's just make sure that you've got that in front. There we go. Now, there are a few things that I just want to show and share with you. Now, first of all, who we are. Do you know what kind of character you are throughout this week? I hope you're shouting out at the television and you're shouting out, "We're explorers!" Just make sure we have a look again. Yep, have a quick look. Yep, we're explorers, and we're going to be doing loads of exploring throughout this week. Where are we? Well, we're travelling to a place called Adventure Island. So a picture is going to come up of Adventure Island. You may have seen it already. So let me just see, make sure that it's coming up. There you go. Now, there are 5 different places at Adventure Island that we're going to be going to. You may already remember them. Maybe you've seen some of my adverts about the Holiday Bible Club already. We're going to go to Breathtaking Bay. In fact, it's Breathtaking Bay today. That's where we're starting off our journey, our epic exploration. Can you say that word? That's a huge word, isn't it? Epic exploration. Then we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to be going to Discovery Dens and seeing what we can find out there. We're also going to be going to a place called Mysterious Mountain. Once we've been to Mysterious Mountain, we're going to go to Crown Cave. And then we might even touch on a fantastic place. Some of you have heard me say it before, I'm sure. A very tasty place called Rocky Road. Some of you might know what that might mean. We'll wait and see, because that's going to be later in the week, possibly on Thursday. So that's where we're going to be going, all those different places. Now, we're going to be finding out some things. So what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be finding out about Jesus. We're going to be finding out about who he is and what he came to do. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is looking in our Bible. So if you've got your Bible at home, make sure that it's handy and by you so that we can make sure that we're looking together at some verses in the Bible. Because this is the best book in the world. It's the book that can tell us all about God and all about Jesus, who he is and what he came to do. And we're going to be finding out some of those things this week. Now, some of you maybe know more things than others, but I hope for all of us, including me, that we're going to find out loads and loads of things. And we're going to be learning some new things as well. Well, we're going to move on, and we're going to a part of our day called Map It Out. So let me just click on, there we go. And what we're going to do in Map It Out is, first of all, we're going to have a game. And the game is, Who Am I? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 clues. And each clue helps you to identify somebody. Now, when I give you those clues, I want to see if you can remember how many clues you need to identify who the person is. So here's your first one. This is my first clue for the first person that we're trying to find out. So this person says, I love to go on new quests and adventures. Now, a quest is a bit like we're doing this week. It's an exploration. It's an adventure to find something out. So this person says, I love to go on new quests and adventures. Do you have any idea from that clue who it might be? That's your first clue. Now for your second clue. On my travels, I have to solve riddles. So you've now got 2 clues. I love to go on new quests and adventures, and on my travels, I have to solve riddles. Now, it might be you're still thinking of the same person, but if not, here's your third clue. Oh no! Something just came up and told you who it was. I hope you didn't spot it. But here's your third one. Your third clue is, Swiper is my foxy enemy. Foxy enemy. So this person has got an enemy. Foxy is my enemy. Okay, that's 3 clues. If you didn't see the picture that came up by mistake very quickly, you might still be guessing. Your 4th clue is I can speak Spanish. Oh no, she's come up again. I can't believe it. I wonder if you got her at the first 2 ideas, the first 2 clues, or the first 3 clues. Well, you'll know now. The 5th clue is my monkey friend Boots loves to explore with me. I hope you got to the answer. It's Dora the Explorer. There she is. Now, I wonder how many clues you needed to get her. I wonder. Well, I'm going to click on to the next bit, and it should say, Who am I again? Here it comes any minute now. And we're going to do our next one. And our next one. Okay, so 5 clues again. Here we go. The first clue is, my other name is Bob Parr. So he's got 2 names. His other name is Bob Parr. Do you know who that is from the first clue? Your second clue, I wear red. I wear red. So you've got 2 clues so far. I wear red. The third clue, I wonder if you've got him so far. I am married with 3 children. Married with 3 children. So my other name is Bob Parr. I wear red, and I'm married with 3 children. Do you think you know who he is? Have you got it yet? Fourth clue. I am very strong. So his other name is Bob Parr. He wears red. He's married with 3 children, and he's very strong. Do you think you know who he is? Have you thought really carefully? Maybe you got it after the first clue. Final clue, number 5. I am a superhero. Do you think you know who it is? Have you got who it is? I hope that you've guessed by now, even if it was on the 5th clue, that you've guessed that I am indeed, wait for it, Mr. Incredible. Mr. Incredible. So that's our 5 clues. How many clues did it take you to get it? Well, let's click on again. We've got 1 more to guess. This is a great game. I love Who Am I trying to work it out. Here we go. First clue. I wear my hair in a plait with a yellow bow. That's interesting. That's certainly not me. I've got hardly any hair. That's why I've got my hat on to protect my head against the sun in the bush. So I wear my hair in a plait with a yellow bow. I wonder if you think you know from the first clue. Okay, here's your second clue. I'm excitable, brave, and athletic. Yeah, I almost kind of thought for a moment that might be describing me. Brave, excitable, or maybe 2 of those. Although I'm not very athletic now, even though I did the warm-up at the beginning. Are you excitable, brave, and athletic? But do you have a yellow bow? Maybe not. Third clue. I'm scared of the dark. Scared of the dark. Can you get it from those 3 clues? This is the clue that might make a difference. You ready? The 4th clue. Buzz Lightyear is one of my friends. Does that give it away now? Do you think you've got it now? Hair in a plait with a yellow bow, excitable, brave and athletic, scared of the dark, and Buzz Lightyear is one of this person's friends. Do you think you've got it? Here's your final clue. I am a cowgirl doll. I'm a cowgirl doll. Do you know who it is? Have you got it now? And how many clues did it take you to get to? It is, in fact, here it comes. It's Jessie. Jessie, the cowgirl from Toy Story. Is it going to come on? I'm just waiting to see whether you get the picture there as well. Just there it is, Jessie from Toy Story. Brilliant. How many times did you take, how many clues to guess each of the person? Did you manage to do it in 1 or 2? Or did you need 5? I wonder. Do you know, the really important thing with this is the more clues we get to somebody, the easier it is to spot them. Now, that's the important thing to realise today. The more clues we get, the easier it is to identify who someone is. And we're going to be finding out a little bit more about that. Now, I think you've been probably doing brilliant at home, but it's time for you to get up, use some energy, and actually do a little bit of dancing and maybe singing at home. So we're going to sing a song. We're going to have a song every day. We'll have a different song nearly every day. Today, we've got one that many of you will actually know, I'm sure. It's called, and here it comes, is it going to move on to this one? It's Jesus Rocks the World. Now, for some of you, you may already know this song, but this is quite a rocking song. So, are you any good at air guitar? Now, at home, you might want to be able to do a little bit of air guitar as you're singing the song. And the chorus is Jesus Rocks the World, and that's what we're going to be finding out this week. You might want to have a go if you're a bit of a drummer. There are parts in it where you can do a little bit of air drumming as well. But make sure that you're safe at home, but have used plenty of energy, plenty of actions, and the words will come up with the song as well. So why don't you join in at home? If you're on your own, then great, but if you're with your family, why don't you really sing this one well and use loads of energy as we sing Jesus Rocks the World.
is the King of Kings. Jesus rocks the world. Jesus is the Lord of Lords. Jesus rocks the world. He rules the earth, he rules the sky. He's the holy God on high. Every tongue is gonna cry, Jesus rocks the world. Well, whisper in the quiet moments, Jesus rocks the world. Speak it out a little louder, Jesus rocks the world. Say it so we all can hear it, Jesus rocks the world. Shout it out, tell everybody, Jesus rocks the world. He rocks it 'cause he made it, and his kingdom will endure. When Jesus Christ returns, he's gonna rock it to the core. Get ready. Jesus rocks the world. Hey, Jesus rocks the world. From the top now. Jesus is the King of Kings. Jesus rocks the world. Jesus is the Lord of Lords. Jesus rocks the world. He rules the earth, he rules the sky. He's the holy God on high. Every tongue is gonna cry, Jesus rocks the world. Now you whisper in the quiet moments, Jesus rocks the world. Speak it out a little louder, Jesus rocks the world. Say it so we all can hear it, Jesus rocks the world. Shout it out, tell everybody, Jesus rocks the world. He rocks it 'cause he made it, and his kingdom will endure. When Jesus Christ returns, he's gonna rock it to the core. So get ready. He rocks the world. Oh yeah, now. He rocks the world. He rules the earth, he rules the sky. He's the holy God on high. Every tongue is gonna cry. Every tongue is gonna cry that Jesus rocks the He rocks the world. Jesus rocks the world. He rocks the world. Jesus rocks the world.
Well, welcome back. Did you enjoy that? Did you do lots and lots of air guitar? Fantastic if you did. And I hope you really enjoyed that song. Well, I wonder who do you think Jesus is? Who do you think Jesus is? We're now at Breathtaking Bay. We're going to have a little bit more now to find out what we can find out about who Jesus is. And if you've got it at home, now's the time to grab your Bible. That's a big, great opportunity to grab that. And if you can, why don't you try and find the second book in the New Testament? The book is called Mark. Now, some of you may be able to find that quite quickly. But if you can find it, that will be brilliant, because we're going to look at a few verses in there. Not a huge number, but it would be really great at home if you can follow with me in your Bibles. So we're in Breathtaking Bay. We're going to be thinking about who Jesus is. And I'm just thinking, who do you think Jesus is? And I'm sure that if I could hear you, if I could listen really carefully, that you may be shouting out lots of different things as to who you think Jesus is. Maybe you think he was a really cool magician. You know, some people in Bible times actually thought that might be what Jesus was like. You might think that he was a really clever teacher. Well, that is also true, because he was a teacher and he taught loads and loads of people. Maybe you know some of the things that Jesus taught. Maybe you imagine him to have been a kind man. Now, in the Bible, we can read loads of things about kind things that Jesus did. But sometimes he did face up to people that were doing things wrong, and particularly treating God and other people wrongly. So yes, that might be something you think. It might be that you think that he was a bit of a genie who grants wishes. Some people think that, but we need to find out what he was really like. Some people, maybe you're like them and you just think he's made up and never really existed. I often talk about stories in the Bible, particularly about Jesus, as true stories about Jesus from 2,000 years ago, because they are true stories. And it's been eyewitnesses that have actually put these stories in the Bible for us. You see, lots of people have different ideas about Jesus. So it's really important that we explore for ourselves by examining the evidence of his life and his death. In fact, it's not long since we found out about his birth, is it? At Christmas. Now, to do that, we're going to look at Mark's book in the Bible. I've said that already. And Mark, well, he spent lots of time with people who knew Jesus. And he wrote all his discoveries down. And he did that because he wanted people to be able to answer the question that we've got, that you can see there. Who is Jesus? And Mark wanted us to see and know those things. Now, Mark starts straight away with the answer. In the very first part of his book, he starts with the answer. And it's in Mark chapter 1 and verse 1. So maybe you'd like to turn up with me, Mark chapter 1 and verse 1. And what Jesus does is, what Mark does is he explains to us straight away who Jesus is. This is what it says. Okay, it says, this is the beginning of the good news about Jesus Christ, the Son of God. As the prophet Isaiah wrote, I will send my messenger ahead of you. He will prepare your way. So the very first verse says it's the beginning of the good news about Jesus Christ, the Son of God. So hopefully coming up now, we'll have the words. It's just come in. I'm sure it's just come in. Here it comes. Jesus is God's chosen king and son. Now, Mark says that right at the very beginning of his book so that we can get that. And then the rest of Mark's book in the New Testament actually explains why he believes this is true and why it's good news that Jesus came. So we're going to explore some of the things Jesus said and did and see what they show us about Jesus. Now what we've got now, I'm just going to click my next one. The next slide comes up. Jesus' words are powerful because he is the Son of God. And what we're going to see is in Mark chapter 1 and verses 16 to 20. Now, if you look in your Bibles, verse 16 is the little tiny number in that first chapter at the beginning. And if you find that one, it starts with when Jesus was walking. Now, if you can find that and follow with me, I'm going to read some of those verses for you. So listen very carefully for anything that you think was amazing to do with Jesus as we read these few verses. Here we go. When Jesus was walking by Lake Galilee, he saw Simon and Simon's brother, Andrew. They were fishermen and were throwing a net into the lake to catch fish. Jesus said to them, "Come and follow me. I will make you fishermen for men." So Simon and Andrew immediately left their nets and followed him. Jesus continued walking by Lake Galilee. He saw two more brothers, James and John, the sons of Zebedee. They were in their boat, preparing their nets to catch fish. Their father Zebedee and the men who worked for him were in the boat with the brothers. When Jesus saw the brothers, he called them to come with him. They left their father and followed Jesus. Did you spot what amazing thing Jesus did? You see, Jesus gave a command, and immediately Simon, Andrew, James, and John obeyed. Can you click your fingers? I'm not very good at clicking my fingers, but can you do a loud click? Because the four of them, those four fishermen, they just obeyed and followed Jesus just like that. There was no ignoring. There was no delay. There were no excuses or, do I have to? It wasn't like when perhaps your mum asked you to do something at home. Maybe tidy your room. And you think, oh, no, I bet you don't do it just like that. Maybe some of you do. But they were willing to do what Jesus asked right away, just like that. Even though that meant leaving their families and their jobs. Imagine if I came up to you and I said, hey, I want you to leave school, forget your family, and let me take you wherever I choose. Would you do it? Of course not. Although I haven't thought about that. I wonder if you would. No, you wouldn't, would you? Of course you wouldn't. Not really, because I'm not that important. So why did these four leave everything for Jesus? Well, they could tell that Jesus was powerful and important from what they had seen and heard about him, but also from him himself. If Jesus said, follow, they knew they had to obey. Now, as the fishermen followed Jesus, they heard Jesus' powerful words again and again. Listen to verses 21 and 22, just on from where we've just read. This is what it says. So again, follow with me. Jesus and his followers went to Capernaum. Now, I'm not quite sure how you say that. It might be Capernaum. It could be all sorts of things, couldn't it? I've always said Capernaum, but that's where they went. On the Sabbath day, Jesus went to the synagogue and began to teach. Now, that's like our churches today. But in Israel, their churches are called synagogues, and that's where Jesus went to teach. The people there were amazed. They were amazed at his teaching. He didn't teach like their teachers of the law. He taught like a person who had authority. And Jesus' words were listened to, and they had authority. He spoke, and people believed. Well, I wonder whether you listen really carefully there. Did you spot the amazing thing that Jesus did this time? The fishermen heard Jesus teach about God in an amazing way that no one else taught like that. Even their official teachers, their religious leaders, didn't teach like that. So you see, Jesus' words are powerful. His words are powerful. In fact, his words were so powerful that he was able to heal a man who had an evil spirit. Just like that. When Jesus told the evil spirit to leave the man, the spirit obeyed. It had no choice. Jesus' words are powerful. Can you see that? But why are his words so powerful? How can he just speak and the impossible happens? And not just here, but all through Mark's book and the other books in the Bible too. Well, it's because Jesus is the Son of God. And God has power over everything. He made everything and rules over everything. You can see there on the screen, can't you, that his words are powerful, and that equals he's the Son of God. They're powerful because he is God's Son. But it's not just Jesus' words that are powerful. You see, his actions are as well. Mark gives even more evidence that Jesus is the Son of God. Now, I want you to imagine, and this may have happened to some of you, if you've broken your arm, could I make it better just like that? Can I do that? What about a doctor? Can a doctor make it better just like that? Can he do that? Of course we can't. We don't have that kind of power. But Jesus does. So in Mark chapter 1, when Jesus went back to Simon's house, where Simon's mother-in-law was ill, guess what he did? And here's a picture. Yes, that's right. He healed her just like that. And then because of that, lots of others came to the house too to be healed. Loads of them. They all came along with their poorly legs and all kinds of things. Maybe they had evil spirits, or guess what he did? Yes, he healed them just like that. No disease was too difficult for Jesus. Absolutely nothing was incurable. That means everything was curable with Jesus. And we see that in the rest of Mark's book too. Time and again, Jesus made blind people see, he made deaf people hear, lame people walk, he cleaned up people's skin when they had diseased skin, he stopped people's bleeding, he even brought people back from the dead. How powerful is that? Jesus' actions are powerful. He can do the impossible because he made everything and he rules over everything. Do you know that? Jesus is the Son of God, and Jesus' actions are powerful because he is the Son of God. Now, as we discover more and more about Jesus, let's try and keep a record of all those discoveries. Now, at home, you might want to make your very own explorer's notebook. It doesn't have to be as big as this. It could be that way, or it could be that way. On page 1, we can write, can't we, what we've learned this morning? We've written that Jesus is God's Son, or the Son of God, however you want to write that. So as we've explored Mark chapter 1, we've seen that Jesus can say and do things that only God has the power to do. And this is why Mark believes Jesus is God's chosen King and Son. You remember we said that right at the very beginning? That Jesus is God's chosen King and Son. I hope you've seen that. And my question is, what about you? Do you think Jesus is God's Son and King, just like Mark? Well, we're going to find out more as the week goes on, but I hope you've noted down already Jesus' words are powerful, Jesus' actions are powerful, and that's because he is God's King and Son. I'm going to introduce you to our next bit. Our next bit, well, we're going to go on and look at intrepid inventions with Jan. So let me just look. And each day, our intrepid inventions are all about learning a different craft to do with today. So I'm going to hand you over to Jack for our intrepid inventions.
Morning everyone, I hope you're really enjoying being on Adventure Island. Now I'm going to do a couple of crafts with you this morning that are going to help us during our week to find our way around the island. First of all, we're going to make some binoculars. Binoculars start with bi, don't they? So it's two things that we put over our eyes to have a look round, and we can zoom in and we can find people, and we're going to be using those to look round Adventure Island. And we're also going to be making a compass as well, which is going to help us find our way. So first of all, hopefully you've got all these things at home. You are going to need 2 loo rolls, already used up, or if not, a kitchen roll, middle of a kitchen roll that you can just cut in half if you need to, and that will work just as well. Okay, also you should have hopefully some tin foil and a bit of ribbon or string will work equally fine. So with your first toilet roll, you need to roll it. You need to roll it in the tin foil, and then once you've rolled it, just tuck the ends nicely in like that. Nice and easy. You won't need any glue. It will just all stick together nicely. Give it a bit of a squeeze. Okay, there you've got one. But like I say, we need 2, don't we? So we do exactly the same with the second one. Roll it. Now I might be going a bit fast for you, but don't worry too much because actually this is all recorded. So you can always go back, can't you, and just slow down a bit. And as you have a think about what Mark's been asking you this morning about who you think Jesus is, and you're thinking about those questions, you could do some of this as well, couldn't you? So there we are. We have got our 2 things, but we need to stick them together. Now the best way I have found to stick them together is by using a stapler. You might need some adult help with this, but you just get your stapler, push it in, click it together, and there you will have your binoculars stuck together, beginning to look like the right thing already. But the thing is, I don't want to have them in my hand all the time. I'll have my backpack to carry, I'll have my map to look at. So I need a way of carrying them quite easily. So I'm going to put them on a string around my neck. Now I have got some ribbon here. I just chose some bright ribbon just so you'll be able to see it easily, but string would work just as well. And you can either glue the string onto the middle, or you can use a bit of tape. I've got some tape, again I've got some glittery tape so you can see it nice and easily. And it's a bit tricky, a bit fiddly. You might need some adult help, or if you've got a brother or sister with you, you might be able to help each other out at that point. And you just stick it, can you see how I stuck it just to the inside there? And then loop it round, and you're just sticking again on the inside. Get my bit of tape on the inside, trying to get my hands out of the way so you can see, and there you go. And there I've got a pair of binoculars that I can hang around. I'm not sure they'll go over my hat this morning, but that you can hang around your neck, and we can carry those around the island to help us find our way. So that's one thing. The other thing that explorers always have with them is a compass. Now then, for our compass, again, hopefully your parents will have given you the resources you need. You're going to need some card. It doesn't matter if it's all the same colour. I've got some different coloured card here, again, just to help you see what I am doing. So on your first piece of card, you need to draw quite a big circle. You can draw it just by hand if you want, but I found it easier if I use something. I've chosen a plastic bowl. My bowl has actually got Winnie the Pooh in. There you go. I've chosen a plastic bowl, and I'm just going to draw all the way around it. I've used a marker pen, again, so you can see my big circle. There it is. Okay, but again, you can just do it in pencil, as long as you can see the line you need to cut. And then you are just going to carefully cut it around. And again, it takes a bit of time, so it's time for you to think about those questions that Mark's been asking you, or maybe hum the song that we did earlier, sing it along as well. Just so you're keeping your mind what we are doing. And there we go. We have got one big circle, but we also need a smaller circle. My smaller circle, I've again chosen to draw around something. I've chosen a plastic cup, and I think I have for a red circle. Okay. You can, like I say, choose any colours that you wish. I'm going to draw around my cup. This is a bit smaller, so it'll be a bit quicker to cut out. There we go, going round and round and round. So now I'm left with two circles, a big one and a little one. Nice and straightforward, hopefully, so far. And then the final thing that we're going to need for our compass is to make an arrow. I am going to make mine out of this yellow or orange. I'm not sure quite what colour it will look like on the screen to you. And you just need to cut a strip of paper, and at the top, make it into a point. A nice big point like that. And there you go. So you have now got three different things: a big circle, and a pointer. Okay, and we're going to join those all together in a minute. But first of all, on your big circle, the important thing about a compass is it tells us where north is. So we need to put north on our compass. Again, you might want to use a marker pen. You can use any pen you like. A Sharpie would work really well for this. And I'm just going to put the letter N, capital N, for north. And that goes at the top usually, doesn't it? We put that at the top. And then I'm going to put the other points of the compass that you may know already. You may know these from school. North is at the top. South comes opposite, doesn't it? Okay, so there I've drawn on my S. And now, do you know what the other points are? Yeah, they're west and they're east, aren't they? West and east. And there you go, you have got them on your compass. Sometimes tricky to remember, aren't they, these? Some people have little ways of remembering. I've heard the one, never eat shredded wheat. Not sure about that one. Or how about naughty elephants squirt water? That's another one. Different way to remember which way these points of the compass come. But once you've got them written on, that's great. And then you just need to assemble it. Now, this is where I get into a bit of an issue, because what you need to do is put a split pin all the way through the middle here. But my problem is I left my split pins at home. Don't tell Mark, will you? I've come on the expedition without having my bag packed properly. Okay, so all you then need to do is put your split pin through there, and it will work fantastically well for you. And you will be able to, if Mark says we need to go west, you'll be able to work out with the compass which way we need to go, and we'll be able to follow him, won't we, around Adventure Island. So we have got our compass and we have got our binoculars. So get your binoculars if you've managed to make them already, or have a go at making them later. And let's see if we can see Mark at Breathtaking Bay. Ooh, where could he be? Where could he be? Oh, I think I can see him.
Well, did you enjoy that? Did you do it? Did you manage to do it? That is fantastic. And even if you didn't manage to do it with Jan, maybe it might have been just for some of you, might have been a little bit quicker than you could manage. You can always check it later, because we're recording these sessions, so you'll be able to look them back later and go through all these things again if there's anything perhaps you missed. Really important, isn't it, that we have our binoculars to be able to see for a distance and see where we're going. But it's also really important to know north, east, south, and west. I have to really think here, because where I am, if I can point to the wrong direction and it won't be right for you, that, for me, looking that way at you, that would be west for me, but that's east for you, isn't it? As you're watching me, that's east, isn't it? I'm sure it is. And that's south, and that's... What's that one? That one is east for me, but that's west for you, isn't it? I hope you can manage all of that, and I hope you had lots of fun making those things. Well, we're going to see Jan again tomorrow for our intrepid inventions. It's inventions, isn't it? Now, if you've seen any of my adverts, you'll know that one of the things that I keep saying we're going to find out about is a bushranger called... It's called Sheila. Wise Words with Sheila. www.sheila.cheadle. That's what I've been saying. Well, we're going to see her now. But before we do, I need to give you an English spelling health warning. Okay? An English spelling health warning. Now, some of you, I'm sure, are absolutely fantastic at spelling. Now, we're going to be learning over this week some big words in the Bible. And they're big words that end in shun. Now, for the benefit of our song and our session here, we spell the shun ending as S-H-U-N. S-H-U-N. But that's not the proper spelling, is it? Some of you will already be knowing that the proper spelling, if you were writing it, is T-I-O-N. T-I-O-N. Now, don't worry, it is just for this song, but that's your special English spelling health warning. The words in the song are spelled wrong, but don't worry. So I'm going to hand over now, not only to Sheila, Wise Words with her, but also to Juice Puppet's special treat. Watch and enjoy this.
G'day kids, I'm Sheila and welcome to Wise Words with Sheila, my daily explorer slot to share some wisdom from the Bible with you. You can find me here at the Epic Explorers Holiday Bible Club at www.sheila.hbc.uk. I hope you've had a corker of a day exploring and learning loads of new stuff. Let me add some more knowledge to you, some wise words for today. There are loads of big words in the Bible which end in shun. Each day I will teach you some of these and what they mean. Today I want to teach you two: revelation and substitution. Maybe you have heard of these shun words before. Revelation means God showing himself to us. Substitution means Jesus taking our place. Do you think you can remember these big wise words? So again, that is revelation, meaning God shows himself to us, and substitution, meaning Jesus taking our place. I'll see you tomorrow to give you two more. But first, here are Juice Puppets to teach you these big words in a song. Catch you later, kids.
Big words that end in shun show us what the Lord has done. Through Jesus, his own Son. Big words that end in shun. Revelation, God shows himself to us. Substitution, Jesus takes our place. Salvation, sinners saved from hell. Big words that end in shine. Big words that end in shine. Show us what the Lord has done. Through Jesus, his own son. Big words that end in shine. Propitiation, God's anger turned away. Justification, just like we'd never seen. Imputation, Jesus' righteousness is mine. Big words that end in shine. Here we go now. Big words that end in shine. Show us what the Lord has done. Through Jesus, his own son. Big words that end in shine. Words that show us what the Lord has done. Listen to the big words. Words that show us what the Lord has done. Listen to the big words. Resurrection, raised from death to life. Redemption, sinners bought by God. Adoption, sinners made God's sons. Big words that end in shine. Big words that end in shine. Show us what the Lord has done. Through Jesus, his own son. Big words that end in shine. Big words, come on now. Big words that end in shine.
Are you back now? Did you enjoy that? Did you remember the two words? I've got a friend that always says to me, did you know, in the style of an old actor from many years ago, did you know? And I'm going to, perhaps if I see you at some point, I might say, did you know what the word revelation means? Did you know what the word substitution means? I wonder if you can remember that they are really important Bible words. Now you might notice as well on screen that it now says Explorer's Challenge. Now what is that all about? Explorer's Challenge. Well, let me explain. Each day as we finish, and we're nearly there now, so I hope you've had lots of fun. I hope you've learned those. I hope you can remember those. But as we finish, at each day, I'm going to give you an Explorer's Challenge. And if you're a true explorer, you need to try and do these before we meet again. Now, the first part of our Explorer's Challenge, depending on which book you've got, and you should have had them in the post, and if you haven't, hopefully they're coming to you very soon, I want you to complete the first section of your scratch pad if you're aged 4 to 6, or your logbook if you're aged 7 to 11. You'll see that each of these books, there are 5 different sections. There's Breathtaking Bay and Discovery Den, and can you remember the third one? Mysterious Mountains. And the fourth one is Crown Cave. You might want to make a crown on your head for Crown Cave. And the fifth one, which will be our bonus one, which I might only touch on Thursday, but you could do over the Easter weekend, is Rocky Road, a very tasty last section. Now what I'd like you to do is, if you can, complete those overnight, ready for our next session, section 2, and see if you can do all the different things in there. They should help you to remember some of the things that we've done today. So that's your first challenge as your Explorer's Challenge overnight. Now your second challenge for tonight is to make your very own Adventure Island map. It doesn't have to be the same as the one that I showed you earlier. It doesn't even have to have the same piece, the same names for the different places. It doesn't have to say Breathtaking Bay, and you might want to hide a treasure. Now some of you may have done this before. You might want to do it A4 size. You might want to do it A3 size, really big. And you might want some help from your parents just to make it look really, really old. There are a couple of ways you can make it old. You can very carefully ask your parents to just burn with a match parts of it. Try not to set fire to the house. That's another health warning. But be very careful just to burn it and make it go a little bit brown. You might want to get your parents to have a cup of tea. Say, Mum, Dad, you really need a cup of tea now. And can I have your tea bag? Because if you put your tea bag all over it, it will help it to go a little bit brown as well. And you might want to do both those things. But make yourself an adventure island map of your own with treasure and mountains and swamps and ponds and all different things like that. If you manage to do that and you'd like to get your parents to send me a picture of it, in a day or two, I might be able to show some of your pictures, some of your maps. Make sure you don't put your name on it. And if you send it to mark.tomlinson@cheadle.org.uk, that will be really good. And then I will hopefully be able to show you some of the things that you've done. Because it's really hard, it's not being in the same place, isn't it? It's really hard not being a holiday Bible club where we're all here together. But this is better than not being able to meet at all, isn't it? So I hope you've enjoyed this morning. That is fantastic. Now, I think there was something else that I was going to say. I'm trying to think what it was. I remember now. Now, I've already given your parents my email address so that they could send them that. Now, you might be thinking, as you were watching Wise Words with Sheila, you might be thinking, oh, I quite fancy looking at that website, www.sheila.hbc. Now, I said .cheadle, but I think on the video it was .uk, wasn't it? Don't go searching because you won't find it. It's a made-up one, so I just thought I'd mention that because if you go searching for it, it's actually not there. I'm really sorry about that. But anyway, we're just about there now. We're nearly there. I hope I can show you those pictures later on that you do. There's plenty for you to do here, those of you that are already on holiday. Plenty for you to do. Now, I'm going to see you again tomorrow, so take care and God bless.